On a lighter note now, are you looking for some comfy shoes? Why not these espadrilles and sandals made of upcycled cloth? Pat Fernandez shows us how we can walk happy.
We have candy-colored treats for your feet this morning. And to tell us more about it is Janine Chiong. Hello, Janine. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so tell us more about Habi. Why was it named Habi?
Okay, so Habi actually means weave in Filipino. And Habi actually started as a college project when we were in our senior year in Ateneo. So this was in 2011. We wanted to come up with a brand of footwear that would at the same time impact the environment and a community, because we met up with a group of urban poor mothers who needed livelihood, and we saw that these mothers are skilled at weaving, and we tried to come up with a way to use this skill, increase the value of this skill, and use it for something, fun, and something that people would patronize. And we came up with a brand of footwear that would utilize their skills, but at the same time give them some sort of empowerment. This material is actually woven upcycled fabric, meaning from garment scraps from t-shirt factories. These get woven by the group of mothers that we work with. And aside from that, we also use different types of material like suede, leatherette. But one of our flagship products are our espadrilles. So not only do we use upcycled fabric for this, but we also use recycled airplane tires for our soles to make it even more durable. So this is actually one of our designs for men. And so, but aside from that, aside from espadrilles, we also come up with sandals, kids' shoes, and ballet shoes.
What are the in colors this season?
Well, throughout our years in this shoe industry, we saw that people are really more drawn into basic colors like blue, blacks. But for this season, teal is also one of the most in colors, and pastels as well, since summer is fast approaching.
You can see that their sole is actually very flexible. It's comfortable inside, and the color is actually unisex. So you can actually wear matching shoes with your boyfriend or your family.
We do have that. We have couple pairs, meaning, this color, we actually have that also for women. So it's something that a fun thing to do with your partner, matching shoes, and even match with your kid if you have.
If ever people would order in bulk or would request for customization for super tiny or super big feet, how long would they have to order in advance?
Okay, so a production at Habi would take around 3 weeks. So they would have to give us a month to discuss designs or big colors, and we would have to check the availability. But 3 weeks is the optimum time that we allow for production to finish.
Okay, and you also have other products like wallets and coin purses.
Yeah. Well, since we really want to work with the community and bank on their ingenuity, their skills, they also come up with products like purses, wallets, and we make sure that we also help them sell it. We promote the skill and the creativity they have, and given the marketing that we can provide for them, we also offer it to our customers.
Thank you so much, Janine. Well, you can delight in comfort and fashion while helping save Mother Nature. This today is my morning pick.
The Durian Heat, bringing big ideas and critical opinions in Southeast Asia.
Welcome back to Durian ASEAN, and you're with Grace.
Hi, this is Gowri.
So today you are at the Durian Heat, where we talk about issues or any topics in Southeast Asia. But however, we'll be focusing on something else. And this part, we are focusing on the entrepreneurship in Southeast Asia. We have invited this very special speaker from the Philippines. But before that, Gowri, what brand is your favorite footwear?
Well, I actually have a few, but I think my favorite one would actually be Bata because, for me it's always comfort first. So being comfortable in my footwear is my first priority when it comes to choosing shoes.
And how about the price range? I mean, do you go for like, expensive ones, or you just go for comfort no matter it is expensive or
Well,
cheap?
I think the best thing to do is to wait for a discount. Whenever there's a sale, and then you just attack the shop. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, regardless of the price, it comes down to comfort, because I do walk a lot. I don't have a car, so it's very important that I pick something that is very durable, that can last long as well.
Okay, for me it's a bit different because there was this trend, especially when I visited Korea a few years back. There was a trend that the people want to wear fashionable shoes and at the same time very comfortable shoes. So that's when there was a boom in the Converse shoes. Everyone was wearing Converse all the way. Then there was a transition from the Converse to Toms. If you know the brand, the Toms it looks very simple, yet it's very fashionable and also is very comfortable. It comes with a different fashions design, as in like girls wear wedges, but the Toms now it comes with the wedges, but it's covered shoes.
I think now that you mentioned that, Cats is also making very comfortable shoes, which are also quite stylish, and I think having Taylor Swift as their ambassador also helps, and that is another one of my favorite footwear actually, because it looks very simple, but the designs are, I think, custom made. So it's whenever you buy a Cat, it's actually you'll be the only one having this particular design, and at the same time it's comfortable, and you can match it with your dresses or pants or shorts, whatever it is.
Yeah, so I think people are looking for something very versatile when it comes to shoes that they can go along anything with. And we have invited, like we mentioned before, the speaker from the Philippines. She is a co-founder of this footwear brand called Habi. So let's say good morning to her. Hello.
Hi.
Yeah.
Good morning, Janine.
Hi.
Yeah, so her name is Janine Chiong. And so Janine, could you tell us about the company, how you started, and the background of the company as well?
Okay, so Habi Footwear actually started as a college project. While we were in our senior year at university, we had an opportunity to start up a business that can also impact us, a community. So what happened was we had an immersion at an urban poor community here in Manila, just to basically study and just interact with them and study their environment and canvas their skills on where we can start. And we saw that these mothers are very skilled at weaving scrap fabric. However, the problem was they usually got paid really low for it. Maybe around 10 to 15 pesos. So maybe if I translate that would only be around 0.84 Malaysian ringgit per piece. And that's very low, especially
that's very
here.
cheap.
Yeah, that's very cheap. So we decided this is where the need arises. They need fair trade for the skill that they have. While we were studying the industry here in the Philippines, we saw that there's a boom in the shoe industry, especially people are more, I guess the whole of Asia, they're now shifting towards not just rubber shoes or dress shoes, or even slippers. There used to be a trend in Havaianas. I don't know if it's also the same in Asia. But now people are also, we're also leaning towards on comfortable footwear.
Yes.
And we saw a trend in a brand like Tops. They have a social aspect to the brand, and it did really well. So we figured, why not make a brand of footwear that can utilize this woven material that the mothers that we met make and integrate it into shoes, or let's say espadrilles. So that's how it started, really. So as students, we continued this business and we saw the potential with it. And come graduation, this was around 2011. We graduated at March of 2012. We got funding to continue the business, more financial support, and that's how we pushed the business from there. We wanted to be known as a brand of footwear that people would want to wear every day, since it's comfortable, it's unique and customizable, and it's something that originated from the Philippines. So
It is very interesting because you started this project as a college project, and then you sustained this project until now. And amazingly, you focus on the footwear out of all these fashion items. Why did you choose these items particularly?
Because we saw that there's a potential for it, especially in the fact that most comfortable shoes out there are quite pricey. They're on the especially for Toms, for example, it costs quite a it has a quite a steep price.
Yeah.
And we wanted to enter the market into a more of a mid-range pricing because we wanted to somehow show that comfortable can also be affordable.
Right.
It doesn't mean that you're just going to be all about the prestige of the price, if you know what I mean. It's more of like,
and
especially for yeah.
And then you're also helping these mothers or ladies.
Yeah.
You mentioned who has the skill but don't know the where to go or go out to perhaps to be acknowledged their skills, you know.
Sure.
So you're helping this skill. So the relationship that you're having with this lady is also very special.
Yeah, because they became like our mothers.
Yeah.
We stayed with them for 3 days. Our first ever community. We have around two communities now.
Right.
But the community we originated from, they were really the ones who inspired us to continue the business because we somehow saw that this can't just be a college project. It should be something that you should continue because you don't want to promise livelihood or development for a certain community and then just tap out once you graduate. We didn't want to be one of those people. Not that it's wrong, because sometimes there's just so much pressure after graduation. But in our case, we just wanted to try to make it work. And thankfully, we had funding. We received funding from a competition that we joined. And of course, aside from that, since we saw the need for them to receive fair pricing for their effort, we paid them quite a premium. So, as I mentioned earlier, they used to earn around 10 to 15 pesos.
Yes.
Now they earn at around 50 to 80 pesos per piece.
Oh,
and that piece that you buy from them can actually make around a pair of shoes. So that's how we really wanted to make sure that we can sustain that development plan that we came up with.
It is very beautiful that how you are trying really hard to highlight that the women's talents and also to be able to help them each other. But your first platform was on Facebook, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Since we were students, of course, we had limited budget, and Facebook selling was the way to go for us because it almost had zero cost.
Yeah.
We just posted photos of the products, and from there we got some interest from family and friends, and I guess it just really snowballed from there. We also tried to contact some bloggers who can post a photo of them wearing the shoes. So we really tapped into social media initially to just get the mileage out there for the shoes, since it's just a student-run brand before. We didn't really have enough funding to go to retail store and display our stuff. So yeah, that's how.
Yes, I want to ask you about how being with Habi Footwear and how do you compete with the other brands out there apart from your marketing saying that it's more comfortable?
Okay, so if you would look at our website or the branding for our branding, we make sure that the product will shine by itself. We want to avoid the petty selling aspect of social enterprises. You don't want to just sell the story. You don't want to just tell people that, hey, these are made in cooperation with the community. You want the product to stand out. So we're always all about releasing new designs once in a while or continuously improving our products. And we market it not just online. We've been exporting to the US, where we actually want to export to other parts in Asia, hopefully soon. But here in the Philippines, we also partner up with retail stores, since we could actually afford to partner up with some retail stores. We do it by consignment or we have some wholesalers who buy our products, and we've also been featured on some television shows, magazines, and I had an opportunity as well to work with a company in Singapore, SAP Asia, and if whenever we ask them how they found us, they will always say that it's always about how our social media footprint is quite significant. If you type us on Google, you would easily, if you type shoes or social business in Asia, you would easily find Habi Footwear there. So
Yes.
we've just been trying to have a good footprint online, and also whenever we have television features, we upload it on YouTube so that people will see that we're actually operating and we're doing good. So yeah, that's how we market it so far. Of course, we need more mileage in terms of just getting out there, being able to having opportunities to export not just in the US, but again, hopefully in other parts of Asia and Europe.
That's great because looking at your website, habifootwear.com, and then there are updates, and I can see also pictures on Instagram, and there are also spotlights, and you make it very casual at the same time, very eye-catching, where you say 8 things you can wear with the Habi Classics. So that means you're also giving tips for those who have purchased the Habi footwear, and then the things that they can mix and match, and also apparently it is also available at Zalora Philippines, and hopefully we can also see a Habi in Zalora Malaysia as well soon.
Hopefully, yes. Our partnership with Zalora was fairly recent. We partnered up with them in 2012, but we were still a young company then.
Right.
Didn't have the variety that we have now. So we're thankfully we're doing quite well in Zalora Philippines for now, and hopefully, yeah, you're correct. Hopefully, yeah, fingers crossed, we can also compete with the Malaysian catalog.
Yes. Well, Jenny, we'll take a short break here, and then we'll be back after just playing a few songs. We'll talk more about the entrepreneurship in Philippines, and also focus on the women entrepreneurship in Philippines as well.
All right, thank you.
The Durian Heat, bringing big ideas and critical opinions in Southeast Asia.
Welcome back to Durian ASEAN. You're at the Durian Heat with Grace.
Hi, this is Gowri.
And you're still with Janine Chiong, all the way from the Philippines, who is the co-founder of Habi Footwear. So let's continue our conversation, Janine.
Hi, Grace.
Yes. Hi. So I have been just reading the articles as well as including your website, and there are a few things that we want to ask you. As an entrepreneur in the Philippines, are there a lot of female entrepreneurs growing up in the nation?
Oh, yeah, in the Philippines, actually, you would see a lot of thriving women entrepreneurs. Maybe because in the Philippines, the female figure is becoming quite significant in business and even in the household. So I guess the playing field, even for women in entrepreneurship, has also has significantly improved. So most social enterprises, most social businesses are run by women. Either, as I mentioned earlier, our community partners are mostly women, even, and 2 of the most popular social businesses in the Philippines are also founded by women. So as for us, we're also 3 women. The founders are also 3 women in the company. And I guess it's the fact that most women are attuned to dealing with communities.
Right.
Because they can relate better with community members and it's much easier because again most skilled weavers in a community are from the women's sector, because the males in urban poor communities are mostly in the working field, either in construction or in as staff in a company. So you're left with the housewives of a community, and that's why it's easier for a woman to deal with them because of the same wavelength. So yeah.
It's very interesting because you yourself is also coming from the marketing area, if I'm not mistaken, and then you
Yeah.
had a transition from the area to become an entrepreneur. Could you tell us your journey? How was it like, and then perhaps the difficulties that you faced?
So after graduation, it was really as a young fresh graduate. Of course, you'll have those questions in your head if you're meant for the corporate sector or you're meant for entrepreneurship. And as for myself, I wanted to try out first working for a corporation
Right.
just to acquire some discipline and see if it can work for me. So I worked for a pharmaceutical company for a bit just to somehow see if something that I can stay in for the long term. But
Right.
throughout my stay, I saw how maybe I'm not cut out for this industry. And it's not saying that it's not lucrative. By all means, it is more lucrative. But I wanted to try out to growing our own enterprise so that it could be something that could also change the um, how we do business here in Manila. I wanted to prove that it can work. As a millennial, you want to prove that
Right.
starting business early can also be something productive and worthwhile.
Of course.
So it was a risk for myself. Of course, I only got to stay at my first corporation for around 3 months,
I
but
see.
we had an opportunity to go to Europe to represent the business and the Philippines for another competition.
Oh,
So
that's
I guess it
brilliant.
was yeah, it was called the Bid Network Challenge
Right.
in the Netherlands. If you would find an article on our website as well if you want to know more about that.
Yeah.
So it was a matter. I think it was my sign um, to stay or leave, and for me, I took it as a sign to leave corporate world and pursue business because it was an opportunity of a lifetime to go to another country and just basically pitch your business to other people. So, and from then on, I left my job at around August of 2012, and since then I've been committed with Habi, and I can finally really attest that, you can you can make a career out of social entrepreneurship. And
Right.
so far, the journey has been, of course, it has its ups and downs, just like any startup. But we're really happy with how the business is doing so far. So thankfully, we're able to do that classroom to real life type of journey. Hopefully, it can continue on in the coming years.
Yes.
And we'll to inspire more, young students to do the same after they graduate. If they really want to start business, why not start it right away if you can? So yeah.
So it is also been seen that we can say the entrepreneurs scene in the Philippines is also growing, and then
Yeah.
Perhaps Gowri, you want to ask something?
Yeah,
to say?
I just wanted to go back to what you said about women entrepreneurs. I think, Janine, you were saying that in Philippines there are actually a lot of women who are involved in entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do you think there is a reason for this? Is it because of the education, or is it because of the opportunity that's provided for them that gives them the platform to leverage into entrepreneurship?
hmm In my experience, I see that first of all, it's more of like when you're dealing with communities, there's really a lot of emotions involved. It's not just you have to really be friends with them, immerse yourself in the community. I guess the common vibe of a woman really you like talking about stuff, you like sharing stories, you like just basically spending time with a person to talk all afternoon. So it's more of it's more of a relational thing, I guess, because when you're talking with fellow women, you'll be more, I guess, comfortable at the start.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean, of course, that a man who can just go to a community and interact with women won't have the same effect, but I guess it's significantly easier for a woman to start a social business because of the relational aspect of it. it's much easier to become friends with them because they can be much more comfortable with you on the onset
Right.
as compared to a man. So, and in a social business aspect, I think that's the reason. But you know what? One thing I've learned throughout my my stay as a social entrepreneur is there has to be a good mix of you being a woman interacting with your fellow women entrepreneurs and having that sense of masculinity as well because it can help with the professionalism of the business.
So in
But
your
yeah,
team,
at the start,
yeah.
yeah, at the start it's really more of I think based on my experience it's really more it's easier to interact with a fellow woman when you're starting up. But in the long run, you have to be more professional about it.
Right.
So you have to take out the emotions so that you can continue with the business. Of course, there's a lot of we call it in the Philippines tampuhan. If you translate it in English, it would be more of little grudges.
All
For
right.
example, yeah, things that could be misconstrued in the wrong way. You say something to a mother to assess the quality of their work, and they can take it personally.
Yes.
Yeah, something like that. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah. So it's a female thing, I guess. We're very emotional. So
Yeah.
that's also one of the negative aspects of it. But yeah. So,
With the female thing that when it comes to emotions that you mentioned, have you
yeah.
ever encountered any incidents that you feel like, you know what, I just want to give up? Because, well, in this society, especially in Asian countries, there's still
Mhm.
a very strong male dominant society. They still exist,
Yeah.
no matter the
Yeah.
female entrepreneurs are coming up, booming up nowadays. So have you ever
Mhm.
encountered those incidents before? Like, I just want to give up.
Yeah, you know what? The growing pains will always be there especially during our second year in operations.
Right.
It was like it's do or die. You fail once and you ask yourself, is this a signal for you to stop what you're doing, or is it a signal for you to try harder? And in our case, it's really more of not necessarily in the male dominance aspect, but in more of like the business growth aspect. You can lose a lot of money along the way. We've lost quite a bit in our first 2 years because you try a line and it doesn't work. You try to release a new design and it doesn't work, or you
Right.
risk your money in an investment for the company that didn't really thrive for you. So definitely, and for myself, of course, career-wise, you're always asking yourself, is this the right path, or am I really cut out for entrepreneurship, or should I just go back to the corporate sector? There's
Right.
always those questions in your head. But one thing I always keep in mind is once you say yes to something, you stick along with the rest of the blunts and the red flags that go along with it. So for me, my tip to friends always, or to students who ask me, is once you say yes to something, you just say yes to everything that comes along with it. Because if you have conditional aspects in your decisions, you will always want to quit. So for me, that's my one thing that's always the light bulb in my head whenever I feel like quitting. You said yes to this, you have to stick with it. So you already risked your career for this, so might as well push it further.
Right.
So that's always my one thing in my head to keep me going. Of course, the support of people around you
For sure.
also helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it comes to business or entrepreneur world, sustainability is always the question, and also people have a lot of difficulties when it comes to sustainability. But you've managed to sustain this business since college, but of course there are ups and downs when it comes to finance, even the marketing your product. But
Right.
your background is from marketing. Was it easier for you, or how did you direct? Where was your direction when it comes to marketing and perhaps having this financial sustainability plans?
For the sustainability, I guess it helps, of course, there's a bit of trial and error always involved.
Yep.
I'm not yet, I guess, old enough to call myself an expert in marketing. It's really more of you study the trends that are out there and you see how you can adapt the trends in your own business.
Right.
In the sustainability aspect, it's really more of you have to really have good foresight and have mentors around you who you can consult before making big decisions. And so the sustainability is you always have to be practical with your decisions for the business. There always has to be that foresight for growth, but at the same time foresight for stability. So
Right.
for us, we always study the investments that we make, and we just make sure that the opportunities that are available for us, we can really grab it in the best way that we can. And we just really, we make sure again that we share our story out there so that people can see that this business is growing. The support of the people around you helps in sustainability, because if you have a good support, you have a good mentors who back you up, you have good employees, and you have a good customer footprint feedback, people will keep coming back to you. And I guess that's the best way for you to sustain. Make sure that you do good business and you never compromise the quality or the quality of your service to your customers and the product that you offer to them. So it's of course there's no specific formula. I guess as I've read somewhere, you have to fail fast and recover faster so that you
Right.
know right away what you need to fix. So as for us during our first few years in the business, I think one thing that helped in sustaining it is we accept our mistakes and then we easily adapt the changes that we need to do to do something about it. And we continually pitch our businesses to interested investors, and we also always come up with new designs so that people will tire of us. So my tip really is to just continuously improve, never stop at one thing, and stick to that. Always find a way to revolutionize the business as you go along, and listen to your mentors. It's important to have mentors who have already experienced those blunders and can help you with them if you experience the same. So.
You mentioned very in a very inspiring way, but then when it comes to perhaps the quality control of the shoes, because after all, fashion evolves and then it keeps changing. But then having the same image coming from the Habi footwear design, how do you control? How do you maintain the quality?
For us, when we started with Habi, the quality really was not so good because
Right.
it was a material. It was quite bulky because it's a woven cloth from scraps, and we had to use recyclable material.
Yep.
So it was really we wanted to make sure that once we really want to grow, we have a competitive product. So what we did as we started the business was we consulted with shoe experts who directed us towards the way in making footwear. So we had a few prototypes made. We of course wear tested them, and we received feedback from customers who bought the initial designs who would say
Right.
that this design is too flat, or the quality of this material, you might change it. So
Yeah.
I guess our first few customers were our primary advisors, in the form they would tell us what to improve on. And I guess that's how we just really came to a point where, okay, this is the most competitive version of our product,
Right.
which is out there now. So we listen to our customers. I guess that's how we improve the quality. We're not defensive with it because, as I say, the customers are always right.
Of course.
So whenever there's a slight comment about our product, we consider it right away.
Right.
As long as, of course, it's a sound suggestion.
Yep.
And that's how we arrived at the version of the product now. We took into consideration that it was too flat for some. This material disintegrates quickly. So we just keep on listening to not just as a team, but to the people who've actually worn the product out there. And of course, we're going to be a bit biased, but listening to the customers, you'll see you'll know their insights, and you have no other reason to reject those insights.
Exactly.
That's how we improve the quality of the products.
Well, that's wonderful how you do listen to the clients to get the feedback. Because some, being a females, we tend to get a bit offended and perhaps emotional. But I can see that you did throw away all those emotional part just to be have the constructive criticism.
Yeah, that's we've received, of course, some um you know complaints that are too much, but we never reject anything. So
Right.
we just keep on receiving them and doing something about it.
Yeah.
We make sure we don't have any customers that would have an ill will towards us in the end.
Exactly.
And Janine, you also mentioned about that it's very important to take care of your relationship with the customers. So is there something different that you guys do at Habi Footwear in terms of dealing with your customers?
hmm I guess we don't have like a special treatment whatsoever, I guess, but it's more of like, I guess the best way we can describe our relationship to our customers is very personalistic. We treat our customers like friends. So whenever someone inquires or someone just goes to our showroom to view the products, we make sure to engage. Because one thing that's so special about social businesses is there's so much to tell, and there's always some interesting aspect to share, and we always like sharing our story to our customers. So we like to tell, we like to engage in short conversations. So I guess that's the most special aspect to how we interact with our customers. And of course, we are very generous again with sharing how we started and what we did to get to where we are. And I guess that helps also for them to understand that this is not just a regular factory made product. There's a lot of heart that's put into it. So yeah, I guess that's how we do our thing with customers.
That's very wonderful, Janine. So we'll be taking another short break, and then when we return, we'll talk further about Habi Footwear all the way from the Philippines. So stay tuned.
The Durian Heat, bringing big ideas and critical opinions in Southeast Asia.
Welcome back to Durian ASEAN. You are with Grace.
And this is Gowri.
And you're still with our special speaker all the way from the Philippines. But before we continue our conversation with our co-founder of Habi Footwear, Janine Chiong, let's just give us the very cool summary about the Habi Wear, the company itself. And there are three value the things that Habi always emphasize is one is a responsible fashion, and they want to reduce the solid waste by purchasing the footwear made out of the scrap cloth and the recycled rubber. Second one is social involvement, so they provide the community of mothers with sustainable income and also development trainings. And lastly, it's a Filipino pride. I really like this because homemade product. I mean, what else can you get the more pride than that? So these shoes are proudly 100% Philippine made. So we've been speaking to this co-founder of Habi Footwear. And Janine, what is your future plan from this company, Habi Wear? Or do you want to collaborate perhaps other entrepreneurs? Or do you have any extension plans? Or what's your plan?
So thank you for that summary. And well, our plans really, of course, is to grow globally.
Right.
As I mentioned earlier, we've already started with the US, and hopefully we can tap into more countries soon. And aside from that, as you've mentioned earlier, we utilize scrap fabric for the shoes.
Yep.
And what we plan is we want to utilize other materials into making our products, other woven materials, and we're actually considering even using indigenous woven materials that are available. Just basically, tap into more skilled communities and give them the access to market that they deserve, access to a fair market. So
Right.
our plan is as we grow as a company, the community grows along with us, the communities that we can work with. So definitely you can look forward to other designs that can really showcase the ingenuity of the communities we have here in the Philippines.
Right.
And yeah, of course, grow globally and of course grow also domestically through partnering with more communities and increasing our presence in as a social business. Because of course, as a social business, your one of your primary objectives is to develop the communities that you work with.
Yep.
So you don't want to just be all about the business. So for us, since the company's really primary inspiration is our communities, they're always part of our plans. So hopefully as we grow, they will also grow along with us. And aside from that, of course, we plan to continue what we're doing now, which is of course tap into the target market, which are the millennials to the yuppies to even young mothers who want to be comfortable but at the same time socially responsible in their lifestyle. So hopefully as we grow along, more and more people can be inspired by doing the same thing for themselves, having a more responsible lifestyle.
Uh-huh. And then could you elaborate more on having this Philippine pride in their own products? I mean, supporting local product is very important. I mean, people go for all this comfortable wear and such, but then buying their own local product, it's also another way to contribute to economic growth.
Yes. Because of course, if you buy a product that's homegrown, you support the local industries that have been part of the product that you bought. So for us, it's really about being a proudly homegrown product that people from all over the world will be proud to wear.
Yes.
We're always so proud of buying a pair of Toms, buying a pair of Converse, Crocs, and there's nothing wrong with that. But would it be much better if you're actually proud of owning a pair of Habis because it's something that's made with a good with heart in your country. Even just we really want to thrive also with the Asian pride aspect of it because there's not really a lot of Asian footwear brands.
That's true.
Yeah, so you want to be part of that homegrown revolution. That it's not just about the bigger brands, but it's also about supporting the smaller brands out there, like us. So we want eventually for people to look at Habi as an essential in their wardrobe, just like how I've had a lot of friends who collect so many pairs of Toms, so many pairs of Nikes and Converse, different colors and designs, and you want to be one of those types of brand that people will continually buy just because they're really happy with their experience with the brand. So, yeah.
But speaking of the footwear, is also not only it's a Filipino pride, but it's also an ASEAN pride, like you were just mentioning. And I'm curious to know if you're actually planning to get Habi footwear to all the 10 ASEAN member countries, and what are your plans in that term?
Definitely, because we want to be known also in the ASEAN. Just recently we were able to work with the SAP Asia in Singapore. Right. So it was a big opportunity for us to really increase our mileage. And hopefully we can continue on with more partnerships just like that because it really helped with gaining our footing in a different country. We saw that it can actually work. So I guess it's really more of the opportunities that are available if it can open door. If the ASEAN, some retailers from the ASEAN countries can open their doors for us for some possible partnerships, we'll be more than happy to entertain these. And we've been sending emails, some feelers to some companies, but hopefully there'll be one response that can change everything. But yeah. So yeah, we've started already with Singapore and now we're starting with Malaysia as we have been featured in an SME magazine, and now thankfully you also invited us to speak for your radio show. So hopefully that there are baby steps and some seeds have been planted, and it's just really a matter of when they will be grow enough for us to finally enter into the different markets in the ASEAN. So hopefully sometime soon.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
hope that
So
too as well, because it is Filipino pride, but after that, it could also be ASEAN pride after all. Well, Janine, before we end our conversations here, where can people find more about the Habi footwear?
Mhm. So we are actually available online, so you can order from all over the world. We ship worldwide. You can order from our website, habifootwear.com. All the designs that we have available are there. You can choose your sizes, the colors that you want. We're also available in Zalora, Philippines, so hopefully we can also be available in Zalora, Malaysia soon.
Yes.
So definitely we're very accessible even in other countries. And to Malaysia, for example, the lead time for a pair of shoes would be around 2 weeks by postal mail, or if they want it more quicker, they can also order through Express, and we can arrange for that as well. So definitely we are very accessible, and you will find more about us on our social media accounts. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're also on Twitter.
All right.
And yeah, so you can also just type Habi Footwear and you'll easily find us there. If you're curious, if you're even more curious about the brand, you can also look up our videos on YouTube. Just type Habi Footwear and you'll see a lot of videos featuring our television features, our company profile, as well as some other snippets of the brand if they're curious about it.
That's wonderful.
And, yeah. And in the US, of course, we're also available in a website called kamai.com.
All right.
They're San Francisco based. So all the links for these will also be available on our website. So if you want to know.
Sure. So for those who are very interested or even looking for comfortable footwear, do look for Habi in the Philippines. Well, Philippines is in ASEAN. It's not that far away, and they shipped worldwide. So look for them. And thank you so much for joining us for our conversation this morning, Janine.
Thank you also, Grace and Gowri, for joining us.
Okay, thank you very much. Goodbye.